Long before Europeans made contact with the United States, the indigenous and native peoples of the land were already making art and telling stories. With over 570 distinct tribal groups calling this land their home, their art is vibrant, dynamic, and steeped in history. From comedy to fashion, acting, music, and painting, there isn't a single art form that Native American culture hasn't touched. Indeed, not only are individual Native voices increasingly being heard, but Native issues are dominating the headlines. Speaking of voices, some of the loveliest and loudest voices are those of artists. In today's episode, we compiled a list of Native American trailblazing artists from the silent era to now, whose careers have made it possible for more representation in the industry. But before we dive right into it, kindly give this video a thumbs up and click on the subscribe button channel to receive a notification whenever our new videos drop. Now, let us get back to the video. When most people hear the word artist, they think of painters. But hey, there are many different types of artists in art. That said, check out our list of Native American TV artists, some of which may come as a shock to you. Irina was born in Anchorage and lives in the Alaska Native village, Koyuk. She started her acting career as Mary Crow Dog on the TV show Lakota Woman, Siege at Wounded Knee, for which she was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a miniseries or television film. Bedard was chosen as one of People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People in 1995. The same year she did the voice of Pocahontas in Disney's Poppy Butt controversial movie. Bedard was also cast as Susie Song in the 1998 cult classic Native American film Smoke Signals, directed by Chris Eyre, a local Navajo. It was after that Bedard kept working in movies and TV shows, including Into the West, Longmire, The Stand, Alaska Daily, and most recently as Yagoda in the live-action version of Avatar, The Last Airbender that hasn't come out yet. Born in Osage County, Francis Benjamin Johnson Jr. claimed he was Cherokee and had Irish roots. He was an Indian, but played almost no Indian roles in his acting career. Director John Ford hired Johnson as a stuntman for the 1948 movie Ford Apache. He went on to work with John Wayne, Rock Hudson, Marlon Brando, and Steve McQueen for many years, winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in 1971. For his part in The Last Picture Show, Johnson kept working until he died at age 77. He was in over 100 movies and TV shows during his career. This earned him an induction into the Texas Hall of Fame in 2003. Years after his death, the Ben Johnson Cowboy Museum opened in 2019 in Pawhuska, Texas, where he grew up. What more? At 7083 Hollywood Boulevard, he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Aquaman star has talked a lot about his past, including the fact that his father is Native Hawaiian. He joined protesters trying to protect Hawaii's tallest mountain, Mauna Kea, and has a shark teeth tattoo on his wrist to show how much he loves his family. He is also Pawnee through his grandmother, and has said that he wants to see more indigenous stories on TV and in movies. There's little to nothing, but that doesn't stop me from wanting to bring justice to a lot of stories and a lot of things people don't know about, he shared with Rotten Tomatoes. It's what I find interesting. The disenfranchised and people that don't get to tell their story. Since Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon came out, Lily Gladstone may have gotten the most attention and fame as a Native American actress. The movie is about the horrible crimes and killings that happened during the Osage Reign of Terror. Gladstone's first role in a full-length film was in Jimmy P's Psychotherapy of a Plains Indian, 2012. Directed by Arnaud Desplechin. A short time later, Gladstone was in Certain Women by Kelly Reichardt, for which she received a lot of praise and won several awards, including the Los Angeles Film Critics Association Award for Best Supporting Actress. Reviewers have also praised her for her roles in Fancy Dance and The Unknown Country. Many reviewers agree that Gladstone's performance as Millie Burkhart in Killers of the Flower Moon could make her the first Native American actress to win an Oscar. Wesley Studi is a Cherokee actor born in No Fire Hollow, Oklahoma. He went to the Chilocco Indian Agricultural School, joined the Oklahoma National Guard, and served as an infantry soldier in Vietnam. After that, he took part in the fighting at 2nd Wounded Knee in 1973. After returning from Vietnam, Studi got a part in a play called The Royal Hunt of the Sun with the American Indian Theatre Company. Studi also managed to get into the movie The Trial of Standing Bear. Often, he played Native Americans in historical settings, like in Dances with Wolves, The Last of the Mohicans, Geronimo, and Hostiles. But he also showed his versatility in movies, like Mystery Men, Avatar, and A Love Song. At the 11th Annual Governor's Awards, Studi was presented with an Academy Award in recognition of his lifetime achievement, which encompasses a career spanning multiple decades in the cinema and television industries. Most people know Sacheen Littlefeather as the actress who showed up at the 1973 Oscars after Marlon Brando turned down the Best Actor award. She gave an important and moving speech about how Native Americans are portrayed in movies, one that has been remembered for decades. Away from that, she went on to have her own successful film career, which included assisting fellow Indigenous artists in landing roles, co-founding the National American Indian Performing Arts Registry, and winning an Emmy for her work on dancing. In America, Song for Dead Warriors. Littlefeather's father is Native American. He is from the White Mountain Apache tribe and the Yaqui tribe in Arizona. Zahn McLarnon grew up in Browning, Montana. He often visited the Blackfeet Indian Reservation to see his maternal grandparents as a child. In his interviews, McLarnon often mentioned his high school drama teacher, Peggy Stomps, as his inspiration. Before coming to Los Angeles, McLarnon worked in theater and even at historic Jamestown in Virginia in the 1990s. In 2005, he got a part in Into the West on TNT. Later, he worked on The Red Road with native Hawaiian actor Jason Momoa on Sundance TV. Between 2012 and 2017, McLarnon appeared in Longmire as Tribal Officer Matthias Fargo as Hansi Dent in the second season, and Westworld as Akacheta on HBO. McLarnon's impressive acting resume also includes the parts of Joe Leaphorn in Dark Winds, Officer Big in Reservation Dogs, and William Lopez in Disney's Echo, among others. J. Silverheels was born Harold J. Smith. His grandparents were Mohawk Chief A.G. Smith and Mary Wedge. As a famous athlete and lacrosse player, Silverheels was a member of the Toronto Tecumsehs. He also boxed in the Golden Gloves competition and came in second place in the middleweight class. But then, American actor and comic Joseph Evans Brown talked Silverheels into doing a screen test while he was on tour as a lacrosse box player in 1937. Soon after, he started working as a stuntman and extra. His next few years were spent acting in movies and westerns with Humphrey Bogart, James Stewart, and Bob Hope. In 1947, he was cast as the incredibly famous Tonto on the TV show The Lone Ranger, which he would play for 217 episodes. During the course of his career, Silverheels features in around 100 movies and TV shows. So, as a reward, his Walk of Fame star is at 6538 Hollywood Boulevard. This Native American woman is so talented that she jumps from one art form to another without stopping. Aragon Starr put out 4 albums of her own songs through her own record label, Wacky Production. With songs like Daddy's Records and Salmon's song, I Will Come Back, she writes a wide range of styles. Honor Me pokes fun at teen mascots. Straight in the Face and California Indians tells us about events from the Senator Hotel to Alcatraz. She also made a radio theater series, then a one-woman show in Los Angeles called The Red Road. Now, she is creating her own comics called Super Indian. Meanwhile, Starr belongs to the Kickapoo Creek Nation tribe of Oklahoma. And in all of her artistic work, she seems to enjoy making fun of old stereotypes about Indians the most. Natar Ungalak is an Inuit actor and director best known for his parts in the movies Atanarjuat, The Fast Runner, 2001, and The Necessities of Life, 2008. Ungalak won the Best Actor award at the American Indian Movie Awards in 2002. He also won the Best Actor award at the Palm Springs International Film Festival and the Utra Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Many people worldwide love Ungalak's movies, and he is credited with bringing Alaska Native stories and culture to global film audiences. Originally from the Iron Range in northern Minnesota, Keith Sikula is Anishinaabe, Ojibwa, and now lives in Arizona. He has been quite prolific with his record company, Akina, releasing 6 albums and garnering 7 Native American Music Awards. With his naturally funny and charming personality, Sikula can easily start big jams and sing-alongs at both big stage shows and small benefit concerts. If there were an anthem for Native Americans, it would be Indian Cars. It has witty Native American comedy and pays tribute to a junker on the reserve with one eye with a sticker reading Indian Power stuck to its bumper. Sikula teams up with several rappers and rock stars in this entertaining remix. Adam Beach is one of the most famous Native American First Nations actors in Hollywood. He played Victor Joseph in Smoke Signals, Ira Hayes in Clint Eastwood's Flags of Our Fathers, Dr. Charles Eastman in Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, and Ice-T as Detective Chester Lake on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Beach also made a short debut in 2016 as Slipknot, one of DC's first Native American superheroes, in Suicide Squad. It was his first time in comic books, but his character was quickly killed. In summary, Beach's acting career spans over 60 full-length movies and over 50 TV movies and series episodes. Liam, formerly known as Liam MacDonald, is an indigenous musician and singer blending hip-hop, rock and roll, and reggae in his music over the past few years. In July 2021, he put out his most recent record, What Symbol Represents a Spirit. Liam goes on trips all over the United States and other countries to tell his stories and bring attention to issues facing Native Americans today. His family tree goes back to Montreal, and he is Mohawk through his father's side. In addition to playing music, Liam also organizes concerts. Together with the Old Town School of Folk Music in Chicago, he puts on a show every year for Native American Heritage Month. Besides that, he made a deal with Penguin Random House in 2021 to write a series of non-fiction children's books about the past of the United States. Yenidan Clace and Benale are siblings who use their music skills to bring native life to the center of their art. Punk rock influenced their simple bass and drum setup, but they also used Navajo rhythm, folk music, pop, and other types of rock in their musical style. The two musicians are from the Diné Navajo Nation in Arizona. The name of their band, Sijasin, means hope in Diné. A major motivating factor for the band is hope. They write a lot of politically heated music to bring attention to environmental problems and get people to do something about them. They also host several workshops that are all about activism in addition to making music. Candido Lawley and Patrick Vegas founded the American rock and funk group in California in 1969. Its members are all Native American or Hispanic. As the story goes, rock star Jimi Hendrix told Lawley that he was the best guitarist he had ever seen and that they should form a band. The Vegas brothers are from the Yaqui and Shoshone groups. Lawley passed away in 2020, but his brother Pat is now 78 years old. Along with the Vegas brothers, the band had Yaqui Tony Bellamy and Southern Cheyenne Peter DePoe. Later, a Filipino and Hispanic man named Butch Rillera took over for DePoe. Native American society had a significant impact on the band's music. The group's song, 13th Chant, made history when it was played as the opening act for the first Earth Day in Philadelphia on April 22, 1970. To honor the group, the Native American Music Association Hall of Fame inducted them in 2008. Rogers was born in 1879 on the Dog Iron Ranch in the Cherokee Nation, close to Ulaga, Oklahoma. He was among the most famous and highest-paid actors in the United States in the early 90s. He made over 50 movies during the silent era and another 20 movies, better known as talkies. He got his start as a cowboy trick roper and later in the popular Colonel Mulhall's Wild West show, before becoming a movie star. In an act that became a national sensation then, he rescued the Madison Square Garden audience after a wild steer bolted from the pen and roped it right in front of the crowd. Meanwhile, he got a contract with the famous Ziegfeld Follies on Broadway, where he performed for President Woodrow Wilson. Tragically, at the peak of his career, 55-year-old Rogers and pilot Wiley Post were killed in a plane crash. Rogers has a star at 6401 Hollywood Boulevard, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. On the 14th of November 2019, Google celebrated Will Rogers' 140th birthday with a special Will Rogers, Google know you're in Indian. Author Sherman Alexie gives this simple answer: when your tribe says you are. Nevertheless, a lot of Native people struggle with identity because things like adoption and marriages between people from different cultures confuse their family history. Native artists, like Michael Franti and Buffy Santamari, were raised by white adopted parents who were not from a tribal family. So was Naco, whose family comes from Puerto Rico, the Philippines, and the Apache. From poor beginnings, his mother was a prostitute, to a privileged upbringing in Portland with classical piano classes, then travel where he learned guitar, folk music, and how to write songs. Naco's life has been a journey of profound self-discovery. He has a huge fan base for his band, Naco and Medicine for the People. Young people love him so much that they can memorize his fast-paced songs and show up in droves to see him perform live. On July 8, 2020, Naco resigned from the Honor the Earth Board after receiving several accusations of sexual misconduct. According to the Honor the Earth Board's statement regarding Naco, we have a zero-tolerance policy for sexual harassment and inappropriate sexual behavior. Will Sampson's performance as Chief Bromden in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson is without a question one of the most praised Native American roles in movie history. Along with his 25-film playing career, Sampson was a rodeo enthusiast who excelled at bronco riding. Film producers Michael Douglas and Saul Zantz saw Sampson, who was 6 feet 7 inches tall and rough, participating in rodeos, and thought he would be a great actor for the intimidating Chief Bromden. In addition to playing the role of Tall Eagle in Firewalker, Sampson also appeared in Poltergeist II, The Other Side, as the medicine man, Taylor. Deborah Ayal Kaulitz an adopted child of a single mother who worked in Fresno, California. Always had young babysitters who played the Rolling Stones and all the newest music on AM radio for her. Growing up, she was taught to be proud of her background. When she was 14, she joined the all-nations occupation of Alcatraz. Instead of going straight to college, Ale bought a VW camping van and joined the Klamath River salmon protests, where Yurok people asked for their fishing rights to be returned. She started writing poetry and went to the San Francisco Art Institute. There she met other students and formed the band Romeo Void. They got a record deal and went on tour to schools nationwide. In fact, they even opened for U2. A Girl in Trouble is a temporary thing, and Never Say Never are still played a lot on current rock radio. Back then, IL's unique skills and hard work were held back by the fact that she didn't fit in with the MTV look of the time. It was all about thin, model-like waifs, not strong Indian women with dark hair. But her fans fully felt and respected her power as a native woman who wasn't an ultra-puritan. Carrying on her pride and native identity, she has performed and recorded with her own band, the Deborah Isle Band, and worked on her art. Meanwhile, Ayal works as a certified art educator and a skilled printmaker in Southern California. Most music fans probably don't know that Hendrix is Native American, even though he is one of the most famous guitarists in history. Hendrix was African American, European, Hispanic, and Native American. His Cherokee grandma was Native American. Hendrix played with and backed Native artists like Redbone. Hendrix is known as one of the best electric musicians of all time and had a big impact on the psychedelic rock movement. In 1992, he was honored with an induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Our celebration of Native Americans and indigenous people wouldn't be complete without mentioning Taika Waititi, the winner of the Best Adapted Script Award for Jojo Rabbit. It was also the first time an indigenous person and his wife, Chelsea Winstanley, were nominated for the Oscar for Best Picture. One of the best parts of the movie is his role as Adolf Hitler, and his scene with the great Roman Griffin Davis is one of the best performances of the year. That's saying a lot, since Scarlett Johansson and Thomasin McKenzie, who were criminally ignored, are also great candidates. Tanto Cardinal, a native Fort McMurray resident, has been involved in stage shows since the 1970s and helped establish the Saskatchewan Native Theatre Company. She was in a Native American version of King Lear by Shakespeare and has appeared in many movies and TV shows. Cardinal's major cinematic credits include Hold the Dark, Wind River, Silent Tongue, and countless more. She played Lily Gladestone's mother in Martin Scorsese's Killer of the Flower Moon not long ago. Meanwhile, Cardinal was detained in 2011 for her protests against the Keystone XL pipeline as an environmental activist. However, she was honored with the Earl Grey Award by the Academy of Canadian Cinema and Television in 2017 for her remarkable lifetime accomplishments. That's it from our list today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to get notifications on all our new videos. Also, remember to share this video. See you in our next video.